I am Professor Junaid Shafi, HOD English Department, PGC Bhalwal. Today, our lecture is about classicism, what is classical age, and what is meant by classic. And before starting this lecture, I want to say that don't forget to subscribe my channel to get more videos on grammar and English literature. So it is called the 18th century literature. Let us give you a brief introduction. The 18th century in England is called the classical age, or the age of Augustan age, or the age of good sense, or the age of reason. Dryden is also included in this age because the characteristics of his age had manifested themselves and he himself presented them to a great extent. Classical age is divided into three periods: the ages of Dryden, Pope, and Dr. Johnson. So many people are confused about what is classic, what is meant by classicism, and why this age was called classical age, Augustan age, or the age of good sense, or the age of reason. I am giving you an answer that three reasons why this age was called classicism, why this age was called a classical age. So let me tell you what is classic. Classic definition is judged over a period of time to be of the highest quality and outstanding of its kind. Whatever is outstanding in any field, whether it is literature, science, and philosophy, it is called classic. And there are three reasons why this age was called classicism, why this age was called a classical age. Number one, the term classic is applied to writers of the highest rank in any nation. So earlier I told you that this age was divided into three periods: age of Dryden, age of Pope, and age of Samuel Johnson. Age of Dryden was earlier discussed in the previous video. It was in the Restoration age, but in this period we will discuss the age of Pope and age of Samuel Johnson. And this is the very first reason why this age was called the age of classicism. The term classic is applied to the writers of the highest rank in any nation. This term was applied to the works of the great Greek and Roman writers like Homer and Virgil. England tried to follow the path set by the great ancient authors. Whoever tried to follow the path of the Roman writers like Homer and Virgil, they are called the classical writers. That is why this is the first reason why this age was called classical age, because they followed the ancient writers of Roman literature. Second reason is, in every nation there is a period when writers produce the highest kind of literature, and that age is called the classical age of that nation in literature. The reign of Augustus King is called the classical age of Rome. The age of Dante is called the classical age of Italian literature. So in every nation there is a period when there are a lot of writers who produce a great number of works, and this age and that age is called, or was called, the age of classicist. English author number 3 rebels against the exaggerated and fantastic style of writing prevalent during the Elizabethan and Puritan ages, and they demanded that poetry, drama, and prose should follow some rules. What are those rules? Those rules are followed from the ancient writers like Horace, Cicero, Homer, and Virgil. And these writers of classical age, they did not follow the rules of Elizabethan and Puritan ages, because they developed their own attitude of poetry, drama, and prose should follow some rules. They should be according to some rules and regulation. That is why this is called the classical age. These are three reasons why this age was called classical age. Next is, that is very important, why was this age called the Augustan age? This term, the Augustan age, was chosen by the writers of the 18th century themselves. They themselves have chosen this name, Augustan age, who saw in Pope, Addison, Swift, Johnson, and Burke the modern parallels to Homer, Virgil, Cicero, and other brilliant writers who made Roman literature famous during the reign of Emperor Augustus. There was an emperor named Augustus who ruled in the ancient Rome, and that age was called the classical age of the Italian or Roman literature. And the present writers of the 17th century or the 18th century, Pope, Addison, Swift, Johnson, and Burke, those who followed the classical writers of Homer, Virgil, and Cicero, this age was also called the Augustan age in this sense. The term, because those great writers like Homer, Virgil, and Cicero were existed in the reign of Emperor Augustus. The term Augustus was also not justified because the true spirit of Romans in Latin literature was almost impossible to follow. Romans stood alone in their literature and art. If you follow somebody, you become like him. Your individuality has been lost. So, in this age, the individuality and originality of the writers have been lost. That is why this age was called an Augustan age, because Augustan writers like Homer, Virgil, and Cicero were copied and mimicked and imitated again and again, and this made the ridiculous attitude of the classicist. Next, why this age was called the age of reason and good sense. That is also very important to know why this age was called the age of reason. People began to think that undue respect for authority of the ancient Romans was a great source of error. And therefore, in every matter, man should apply his own reason and common sense. Man should apply his own reason, because if you don't apply your own reason, you become a copier. You always copying other people. If you apply your own mind, you are giving your own reason and good sense. And some people, some writers of that age began to think that we should not follow exactly those ancient writers like Homer, Virgil, and Cicero, and Horace. Those are great in their respect, but to follow them is a fault. Like Sir Thomas Browne, who stood against ancient authority in secular matters, especially in religion. He said, God and unreclaimed reason must stoop unto the lure of faith. And John Locke, another great philosopher, declared in an essay concerning human understanding, 1690, it was published in 1690, faith is nothing but a firm assent of mind. That you have to use your own mind, your own reason to develop an attitude in literature. Next is age of reason. There are two big names in age of reason. Alexander Pope and Dr. Samuel Johnson believed that the highest type of art is that which can be understood immediately, which has the universal appeal, which is not copied, which has a universal appeal, which can be applicable to all the ages, which is free from the expression of personal idiosyncrasy, and which deals with what is general and universal rather than with what is individual and particular. So art is always universal. So if you are creating a great art, it means you are creating a universal art which is applicable to all the ages, to all the continents, to all the countries of the world. It was an age which took pride in modern discoveries, had confirmed the ancient belief that there is an order and harmony in the universe, that it is worked on rational principle. This world, this universe is working on certain principles created by the Creator. So in this sense, if we look at the art of the literature should follow some rules. So in this sense, classical age follows some rules of the ancient writers, and they followed and copied their path. But there were some people who began to think that there should be a reason and common sense behind everything, and we should not follow them blindly. In this sense, this age was also called the age of reason. So up till now, we have discussed the 2-3 things of very important about the classical age. Number one, what is classical? I have given you 3 reasons why this age was called the classical age. I have given you one very important reason that why this age was called the Augustan age and the age of reason. So in this video, the term classicism, what is classic, has been explained very extensively. Hope you are well understood my lesson, my little briefing about this age of classicism. So let me remind you, don't forget to subscribe my channel to watch more interesting videos on English literature and